So finally, we will have Technion on board.
Should I turn it on?
Ofer, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about your interviews and focus groups in Tel Aviv, please?
Okay, it's almost good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ofer Lerner. I'm a city planner from Tel Aviv, Yafo, and I'm a researcher at the Technion. Together with Professor Amnon Frankel, we've conducted the interviews in Tel Aviv, Yafo. I will not present the methodology since it was already presented and it was quite similar, and I'll dive into the results. Now, before diving into the insights and for contextualizing the insight, it is important to understand the status of cycling and cycling infrastructure in the city of Tel Aviv-Yafo, as well as in the metropolitan area. The city has currently around 140 kilometers of separated bicycle lanes. However, around 100 kilometers on the main streets are not equipped for cycling as required. And most of the cycling infrastructure is on the sidewalk levels. Bicycle use stands at around 11%, and the overall bicycle system is premature. However, the city is defined as a climbing cycling city. However, the Tel Aviv-Yafo municipality is working on a very impressive strategic plan called Bicycle City 2025. The aim of the program is to significantly reduce the use of private cars, to offer an alternative of cycling, and to encourage safe cycling. Some of the principles of the strategic vision are to increase the network length from 140 kilometers to 310, increase the bicycle use from 11% in 2020 to 25 in 25, and a 40% decrease in bicycle and pedestrian accidents. Also, the program is aimed at increasing the network coverage index, meaning the access to bike lanes up to 20 meters from the residence, from 50% last year to 90% in 2025. An additional project called Ofnidan is developed and implemented in the metro level. The project aims at establishing a metropolitan network for bicycle commuting, as well as the development of cycling infrastructure. Now I will share with you my kind of like trashy taste in music, and I will quote one of the Danish performer I know called DQ, drama queen, represent Denmark in 2007 Eurovision Song Contest. He said, or sang, it's a space in time where everything comes true and tomorrow's sorrows just won't do. However, we're not in 2025 or in 2020, and therefore the outcome that will presented here will present mostly sorrows, and hopefully these two plans will reach a much better outcome than a drama queen who did not qualify to the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest. Barriers for e-bikes and long-distance biking. We're used to conflict over territory in the Middle East, so why not also enjoy a nice conflict when riding a bicycle? A conflict over space with other road users, including pedestrians, is maybe the most disturbing issue for cyclists. The conflict came out as a systemic issue covering many components of the system. Location of bicycle lanes, separation between road user, bicycle lanes at the vicinity of bus stops, and the lack of separation at intersection. Additional barrier are the partial and uncontinuous status of the network and the lack of connectivity of the cycling network. The latter was brought mostly in regard to the continuity of riding from origin to destination for both commuting and leisure. These issues are very important when trying to promote long distance ride, especially that this lack of continuity and the lack of connectivity is highlighted when the city meets the surrounding cities. On the other hand, there are many facilitators for e-bike and long-distance biking. It is so easy and comfortable to ride in the city. It is the best way of transport. Beside the obvious issues, of course. In general, there is an almost unanimous positive perception towards the use of bicycle. This positive perception are supported not only by the call for promoting sustainable modes of transport, but also as a means for improving health and to promote a livable city, as well as the physical condition of the city. Some other facilitators are the physical condition of the city, such as terrain, distances, and a surprising fact that from the perspective of riders, the city is considered to be a very good mixed-use city, while many urban planners are claiming, at least, that some parts of the cities are not mixed enough. Moreover, the municipality and the regional planning office, and even the Israeli Ministry of Transport, consider the bicycle use as an opportunity to improve the livability and quality of life in the city of Tel Aviv-Yafo, in the metro, and as well in the metropolitan area. When talking about infrastructure-related issue, and to illustrate the responses to the issue of bicycle infrastructure, 3 interviewees replied, which related infrastructure? And example is presented in the photo. When, of course, the COVID-19 crisis will end, we are all welcome to visit our beautiful city of Tel Aviv-Yafo. And this is just one amazing spot. But you see that when you ride to the beach and try to enjoy the place, you'll be very lucky if you find an official parking place, and even the non-official places on fences and other street infrastructure will probably be occupied. Additional issue raised in regard to bicycle infrastructure are facilities in workplaces. It's always summer here, and I sweat like a donkey, and I don't have a place to change at work. I'm lucky that my boss lets me wear a tank top. And the struggle against bicycle theft, which is a major issue in Tel Aviv-Yafo, came out as a major infrastructure issue, related also to the issue of enforcement and safety, and the provision of quality bicycle parking. When talking about the general belief or experiences regarding safety and environmental issue, a common belief regarding bicycle is that cyclists have to confront an environmentally friendly war zone, a conflict with other modes of transport and pedestrian, and here it's important to mention that one of the main issues in Tel Aviv-Yafo is that many of the e-bikes, due to, let's say it in a very nice way, due to unauthorized usage of the e-bikes and dealing with the engines, cannot be considered as a bicycle, but as motorcycles. And I'm talking like on a big portion of the e-bikes in Tel Aviv-Yafo. These are not bicycles, these are killing machines. Now, maybe this is a very powerful quote, but actually it represents the public opinion towards e-bikes. Over the last year, there was a significant increase in e-bike accidents. A third of the pedestrians hit by e-bikes were injured while walking on sidewalks. A quarter of the riders involved in accidents were under 16. Therefore, some people stated, I will never ride a bicycle again. Now, it's interesting that it's not coming only from cyclists, but also from planners and policymakers that are 100% in favor of cycling, and therefore also promoting very strongly a change of policy and the implementation of the policy. Suggestion for measures to support or increase e-bike and or long distance biking. In light of the somehow premature, somehow climbing status of the network, as well as the bicycle infrastructure, some felt that public authorities should stop planning, start doing. On the other hand, especially during the COVID time, when we're in lockdown and going out, once every few days, every day when we go out, we see a new bicycle lane, new bicycle infrastructure, and it's amazing, this boom of infrastructure development in the city in the last 2 months. And this boom is observed by many. At the same time, people ask, why do you still plan without thinking of cyclists? This is like an image of one, from one plan that it's actually of highway number 4 that is going at the edges of Tel Aviv-Yafo, at the heart of the metro area, that the planners and the promoters of this plan actually question the need for bicycle lanes. And moreover, they did not make in the plan, while there is bicycle lane north-south, there is no connectivity east-west with this plan. And of course, when we're seeing the bicycle highways in Copenhagen, hopefully will implement some of these ideas. Many times people are saying, what are you doing? And it's coming, in reference to a specific project or specific development efforts. And every cyclist know that the devil is in the details. 1 centimeter, sometimes it's the whole difference between a smooth ride and finding yourself at the hospital. And in order to improve the overall system, it's not only, people claim that it's not enough only to have these really impressive goals for 2025, but the details need to be implemented in a very good way, meaning when you're going from the bicycle lane into the intersection and going up, if you have this 1 centimeter gap, it's really a problem.
Ofer, you have 3 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, conclusion.
Yeah. What's very interesting in the conclusion, that there is almost, we can never say when doing public participation full consensus, but there is like a very strong consensus regarding the big picture issues, with some disagreement about the details, meaning, should the bicycle lane should be 1 way or 2 ways, where exactly should be located. It's okay to have this kind of disagreement, but in overall, there is a consensus. Although the city is promoting a bicycle for decades, and actually it was the pioneer in Israel in promoting bicycles, there is now a public atmosphere that it's kind of like a fresh start. We did what we've done so far. We learn what we've been implemented, but now let's start. It's a fresh start, and the cycling community is very involved. Meaning, many of the interviewees knew all the details regarding the new plans, and there is optimism in the air, together with skepticism, meaning In 5 years, we'll have such an impressive infrastructure with the investment of like 140 million euros, around 140 million euros in 5 years, together with many complementary efforts. But still people are optimistic and will support the municipality in the implementation of their plan. And the last thing is the need for cultural shift. In other words, promoting the use of cycling requires in Israel supplementary measures such as education, raising public awareness, providing information, as well as a very, 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 very strong enforcement measures, mainly due to the issues regarding unauthorized e-bikes that I just mentioned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ofer. Thank you very much. We do not have any questions on Slido. Do we have anyone in the audience? I have one. So you mentioned so these 5 years that you would go from 11% to 25% and called it from hell to paradise. Actually, I don't think 11% is that bad compared to other places. Do you think that there are more people cycling that the current infrastructure actually facilitates in Tel Aviv?
Yes, there are people cycling anywhere. The people are just riding on sidewalks, they're riding on bicycle lanes, they're riding on the street, they're riding on plazas, they're riding everywhere. The current road space is divided in a way that is not fully promoting sustainable mode of transport, meaning pedestrians and cyclists. And therefore there is a mix of and a conflict between all the use of all the modes of transport. Now, Tel Aviv is like, really, Tel Aviv-Yafo is a perfect location. It has all the trails that enable good bicycle, like an effective bicycle system, and people love to ride on bicycle and use bicycle very much. So therefore the 11%. But this 11% with the lack of infrastructure create many of the current problematic situation of the system.
Okay, thank you, Ofer. Thanks again.